Filiz. Good
Hello, how are
morning.
you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good. How is sunny Florida?
Oh, loving sunny Florida.
You're loving.
The winters are a little less brutal than what you have to deal with.
I know. Although, you know what I'm really excited about?
What?
Spring is coming early.
Yes.
The groundhog
Yep.
saw the shadow, right? So 6 weeks left. Awesome. So we're having this video and we're doing this time together because this is a bittersweet time for me. It's so exciting because you're moving on and you're graduating from the program, but at the same time, it's like, it's like one of your children moving away, going off to college. You're so happy for them, but at the same time, it's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna miss them.
Right.
So it's been an amazing time working with you over these last few months.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been amazing for me too. I really appreciate everything you've taught me and all of the wonderful experiences and the learning too from other women that are in this program. That's been pretty paramount too.
Yeah. I mean, you really had some amazing, I like to call them distinctions or shifts through the program. And why don't we start a little bit of just, let us know what brought you to Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond.
Sure. So I was divorced in 2016 and it was a pretty quick divorce. We finalized everything within 6 months. We don't have any children and we really didn't share all that much in the way of assets and things. So it was a lot simpler, and although we were separated for 6 months before we divorced and everything, I don't think I ever really went through an official healing process with regards to that. And then once the divorce was final, I put myself back out there and got on a dating website and I met someone who unfortunately wasn't probably the best choice for me. So I recently got out of that relationship and I said, before I go back into the dating world, I need to work on me. And that's what this was all about. So I sought a program that allowed me to do that. And in my search, I came across you and here I am.
Yay. I love how God works. Serendipity, right? There's no coincidences that we were brought together. And, you said something about you had went into online dating and you met someone who you thought was the right match, but then only to come to find out that he wasn't. And that is hard when you sort of enter into another relationship and then realize, okay, I don't think this is going to be the right one. But what you did was you paused and you said, wait a minute, before I go further, because it's not that anything is wrong with us, right? It's just that our subconscious brain and the way that our body works, we don't even realize who we're attracting in our life. And what we need to do really is just to pause. Like you said, you didn't even have time to really heal those things. We think we do, but I almost feel like they're temporary band-aids. They're not true healing, right? So instead of maybe seeing a scar where you could look at and say, okay, like that was part of your life, but it doesn't affect you. It's just like a wound that's just trying to heal, but just never heals.
Right.
And took the time.
I went from a marriage that was very lonely to begin with. And so once the divorce was final and I felt safe to go back out there and date again, I was really craving just being with somebody because I was lonely for so long. But what I really needed to learn was to love myself. And that's what was missing. And this goes back to my childhood, actually. But I had just, did a tremendous amount of work during the weeks that we've worked together to really uncover and peel away the layers of who I am and bring out that little girl again and just make sure that I'm protecting myself and my heart before I go back out into that crazy dating world, because we all know it's pretty insane.
It is insane. And I find that, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think you do, and especially from what you said, is that so many of us, when we go through a divorce, we're looking at the primary hurt being from the divorce, of course, because it's painful. There's a lot of trauma that's involved in that. There's so many things that are going on. And it's even post-divorce, 2, 3, 4, 10, it could be many, many, many years later. But what I have found out in my own journey, and I'm hearing that you found kind of the same, is that the divorce hurt absolutely, but it was more the healing of like a life almost, right? Like the loving of self. It was an opportunity the divorce is what was the pain that gave you enough pain to say, I need to heal me. Right? So it was an opportunity to do the healing on self and learn how to love self first, and learn, like you said, to go back to those little girl times where you hadn't quite sort of made that right within yourself and that authentic self. And when we're able to do that, now organically, everything seems to fall into place. What would you say about that? Or what do you think?
So I, in the course of the 14 years that I was with my, excuse me, not 14, 12 years that I was with my ex-husband, we were married for only 4 years, but I came to find out that he was actually a narcissist and really slowly broke me down. And so he took what I would say was already a bit of an injured self-esteem and confidence that I had within myself and broke it down even further, to the point where I was a shell of my former self when I left the marriage.
Yes.
And so then to take that person and then try and go into another relationship is only asking for problems.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
perpetuating the same cycle.
and at my age and our age, most people have already been married, they've been through other relationships, they've been hurt, they've had trauma, whatever the case may be. So everybody's bringing some sort of baggage into the next relationship. And I needed to handle my baggage and made sure that I unpacked it so that I deal with it and not carry that on into.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that, Filiz. You know why? Because when we handle our own baggage, clarity comes. And now you could really see, like you said, everyone's going to come to the table with baggage. And we just have to decide what baggage we could accept and love that person anyway, and what baggage would be non-negotiable for us, like just something that is something we just cannot take into our relationship. But if you're hurt and you're injured, like you said, if self-confidence is injured, if self-worth is injured, if your heart is injured, if there's a soul fracture, if there's wounds that have been injured over years and time, then it's hard for us to see another person. Because what we're leading with is we're leading with lack. We're leading because we're lonely. We're leading because we haven't felt connected in so long that we're not seeing this blazing red sign that's saying, warning, mayday, mayday, mayday. But when you really do love yourself, excuse my language for anyone who's listening, but it's like the bullshit detector. You're able to spot it. And you had that opportunity with the person who reached out to you, right? And you were like, you knew immediately, where before you may have entertained it, a continued conversation, but you knew immediately that I could see where it's going and it's not where I wanted to go. So now I can make a conscious decision to be the leader of my life.
Right. No, and it's definitely, so with people that I've come across since I started this program, I find myself being a lot more in tune with that, and the red flags will go up much sooner than they ever used to. And I just feel a sense, and definitely an increased sense of confidence and self-esteem. And I mean, I've gone back to the gym. I've almost lost 10 pounds. I'm moving to a great new place. And I'm actually also going to be adopting in 2020. So I'm very, very excited. Lots of wonderful things coming on the horizon. And I proved to myself that there is life after divorce.
Yes, you did. And you did. And you were determined, right? Like you're tuned in and turned on to the work. And that's what you did. You're determined. And that's one key that for anybody who's listening, no one is better than anybody else. No one is more than, no one is less than. We all have the same opportunities. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same 7 days in a week. And there's no one who can't do the work and get the life they want. But what it takes is determination, and it takes a decision, right? Because you could sit on the fence all day long from doing something, but you made the decision. Now, granted, Filiz, you and I know this because we both, we did the work together, and me in my own personal development work, that sometimes that work will cause some splinters. It causes definite friction. However, when you have the right people, like you said, the women, me, the support, the group, when you have the right people just to say, hey, like to call us out on our own bullshit in a little bit, right? And again, at the end of the day, we all get to make our own decision. Everybody is a leader of their own lives, and I'm a big proponent of that. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'm here to offer you a different perspective. But at the end of the day, you have to decide, right? Okay, what do I want? Where do I go? And then what do I need to do in order to make sure I achieve that? And you did all of that. Like, you knew for yourself, okay, I have to eat a little bit better. I want to go to the gym. I want to do outdoor stuff, right? Being outside was really important for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely. And it's just been great to kind of rediscover all of those things that, like, I have I'm very crafty, so I like to do a lot of different craft projects. So I've gotten back into all of those, and it's brought a different sort of sense of joy. I love
that. I'm just giggling. I can't help it because I just love that, because we forget how tuned out we were from life. We forget how not tuned in we were. It's almost like it's this level of tolerating before divorcing gracefully and beyond, and then the level of living after divorce, right? It's before and then after. Completely different.
It's so true. And I totally intend on carrying that with me for the rest of how much time I have left here on earth. And then, of course, with the manifesting and learning about The Secret and all of that great stuff, it's just been really fascinating, because I'm actually, I feel like I've manifested things for myself already in this short time.
Man, we can sit here. We don't even have enough time to talk about what you manifested, right? But seriously, and stuff that you wanted. And I just have to go back to that adoption piece, because that was a piece of your life. You knew you wanted a family, and you knew that this is something that's so important to you. And so many times along the road, you were thinking, well, maybe not. And you made the commitment, and I'm doing it. And look where you are. Like, nothing's stopping you.
Yeah,
your family's already here. I can't wait to meet your children.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. It's going to be a fantastic year, and I'm actually going to an Abraham Hicks seminar in Austin, Texas.
Oh yes, I think so. A lot of people are going to that.
And one of the Divorced and Gracefully sisters is going to be there, so maybe I'll run into her.
You can run into her there. How fun would that be? Yes, you guys have to look out for each other.
Yeah. So. Yeah, a fantastic experience, and I would encourage anyone that's even considering doing some of this work. And of course, hard, like you said, it causes some splinters, because you have to look deep within yourself, and you have to accept some of those maybe, learned behaviors. Like I had big time codependence issues, and it's easy to let those creep back in, but you have to really dig deep, do the work and do the healing. And with all the different resources that you provide, there's certainly, plenty of different options that you have to look at, as far as, different ways that you want to, whether you want to watch a video, or whether you want to read a book, or, something along those lines. So I really appreciate your insights and all that.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And that's the reason why I do that, is I like to put in different things, because while everybody will sort of follow the same timeline of the structure of the content, but everybody learns differently, and everybody has a different thing that will get them to be like, that's it. That's what's going to make the difference for me. When you're going to have your individual thing, someone else will have her individual thing. And that's what makes us so uniquely brilliant and beautiful. But at the end of the day, when my job becomes complete, when you begin to love yourself, right? When you're on that path and realizing that, wait a minute, I'm not a victim here. Yeah, there were things that happened to me, but at the end of the day, I am the creator of my life, and I can manifest, and I have the ability to manifest multiple things. And this is something that a lot of people, it's hard to explain during that initial breakthrough call, right? When we're talking, but the work itself, I mean, you can't even, right? Like, there's no,
if you had told me that on our first call that all this stuff would happen, I would have said, no way. There's no chance.
There's no chance. And I'm telling you, it happens every time. And I'm like, because I wish I could say it, but I can't, because I don't even know what will come about. But so many times it's not, because it goes back to the healing of yourself. When we heal ourselves, then organically relationships will get better. And that could be intimate, or it could be a friendly relationship, or going to the gym. Like we begin to do things that we really want to do. Organically, work relationships will get better. And whether that be, you just find a different perspective at work, there's a different opportunity at work, or there's different, jobs available to you. And it just goes from the one thing to the next, So this work does touch upon every single part of a woman's life, right? From the spiritual side to the mental side, to the relationship side, to the work side, because we are uniquely created and we're not just one piece. We're a culmination of everything we experience.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so it's been great to hear other women's stories as well in all of that, because from each person, you, although you might not share the exact same experience, you can
Yeah.
take something away from it, and hopefully someone, you know, can take away something from my experience to say, you know what, I can do it, and I will do it. I will put myself first for this, 12-week program, so that I could, really repair my wounds,
Yep. 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 So what's one thing that you'd like to say if there's one woman that's out there that's struggling, that just is connected to you, is connected to your energy, is connected to the work you do? What's one thing that you could say to her that you would like to share?
So I would say that if you're even considering going through a program like this, know that you are worthy and that you are enough and that you can do this, and she'll work with you financially as far as that goes. And so it's been good to have that comfort as well, because the finances were an issue for me, but it is something that will change your life. And of course, it'll change it to the degree that you put the work into it. Yes, it's going to take a little bit of work, but the lessons learned you can carry with you for the rest of your life, and for, to into other relationships, whether it be intimate or family or work and whatnot. So,
right. I feel like we almost need like Divorcing Gracefully 1.0 and then Divorcing Gracefully 2.0, right? So, because the work, like you said, there's so much transformation that happens, because this really is rapid transformation. This is not therapy. This is not like, sitting down and doing the Freudian, sort of like, we're going to go back to your history. We do touch upon that, but it's definitely rapid transformation. There's stuff that you're doing. And like you said, it's, you have to be doing the work, right? But what's nice is you now, Filiz, you have your toolbox, and at any time you could go in and what tool to have, what tool. And if any time that you're saying, hey, listen, I need a little more support or assistance, we're always here for you, right? So that's what's nice about the continual relationship that we'll have, is that this is an opportunity for you to go on and have an amazing life that you're already beginning to create. Know that I am always here for you. The team is always here for you. And I just can't wait to see where the next year takes you.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So we'll keep you posted.
All right. So again, thank you so much. It was an honor to work with you. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Any last things that you'd like to say? Anything that you'd like to sign off on?
I don't think so. I think I've pretty much shared everything. I would just say, I would just end with, know that you are enough. And that was something I struggled with for a long time, and my self-worth.
And worthy.
Just know that you are worthy and you are enough to take the time to work on yourself.
And is there anything you'd like to timestamp? Because part of our work together is, you get to listen to this recording, and a year later, you get to listen to this. So is there anything you'd like to timestamp right now, right here? You have the opportunity. So a year later, when you listen to this, you're looking back on yourself. Or is there anything you'd like to tell yourself?
I would say to myself, just be gentle with yourself. I hope that the next time I view this, I'm like 50 pounds down. I'll be a mommy for the first time in my life. So that's really exciting. And I'm really just super.
All right. So it is, Filiz, and so it is. 1 year from today, February 3rd, 2021. All right, my friend. See you later.
Thank you. Take care, Donna.